support the farmers in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a country with a very fertile soil because they have plenty of rivers and the water comes from Himalayas, bringing all this fertile soil to Bangladesh. River is everywhere in Bangladesh. As a result, they produce tons and tons of potatoes every year. But the question that we have in Bangladesh is that how to produce potatoes but then move on to the next stage. Producing potato is great, but then you have to market it. You have to create a value added for the potatoes. You know, in Indonesia, for example, we eat everything. But the difference is that while we eat things, we also try to create a value added products, like what happened in Thailand. In many countries of the world, who care to think about transforming this, I don't know in English, this big orange fruit, we call jambura in Bengal, isn't it? What I don't know what to call it in English. I keep on forgetting. It's big oranges with so much juice inside. I don't know what you call it in English. And the skin is very thick. Nobody think about, because when you eat these oranges, the jambura, you don't eat the skin of this jambura. But Thais transform it into very sweet and delicious products. People in Indonesia, for example, they don't only eat the bananas, but they make the skin of banana fruit into, crispy chips. We also transform not only the banana fruit, the skin of banana fruit, but also the banana root. Can you imagine that? Not because they are hungry, but they create papor. In Bengali word, again, I become much more, I know, it's also in Hindi, papor, is it? That the crackers you eat and you eat rice, they make papor, they make crackers from that banana root. So I want to say that the knowledge is there. The knowledge is there in many parts of the world. The question for us is that how to get the knowledge, how to learn from the experiences of other countries to transform our rural communities. In Bangladesh, for example, they grow enormous amount of bitter leaves in Deshoro, I hope, bitter leaves. But the problem, of course, again, apart from producing it, they have to go out, they could move on from producing into creating a value-added kind of this one. In many parts of Southeast Asia, they make chips from the bitter leaves. They make it, and I can show you some of them in the YouTube. So, what I want to say to you is that you are the one, all of you, the government official, who are in charge and you are responsible for the livelihood, not only the livelihood of the region, the districts, the village, but also the livelihood of the farmers who live under your authorities. Now, it's up to you to open your minds. It's up to you to look for any information, because the English doesn't have any possibility of gaining, knowledge and skill from other sources that are available in the world. But you are the one who have the skill, who have the knowledge, who have the power, who have the information. And for you, you have to open your mind. You have to learn from any sources. I'm not bureaucrat myself, but I know it's very tough to move beyond, to go out of the box on many occasions, because we are under pressure to pursue this policy, this program, and so on and so forth. But we have to be creative. We have to open our minds. We have to look for possibilities. And I always believe, look for a chance to undertake training like this. It's very good for you, and also I think it's our privilege to have the opportunities to spend time like this. Because when you have a chance to spend time like this, you talk to each other. You talk to each other. When you talk to each other, you learn that some countries have some strengths on the particular areas. Some countries do not have strength that country has. But we have this strength. We can share with ourselves with others and learn from others. You know. The one wisdom that we learn from Thais is that, of course, Thai is privileged in one way. Most of the farmers in Thailand has 5 hectares of land, you know, for their own. And the king has given very nice advice that when you have this land, do not plant only cash crops kind of, you know, products. You have to divide your land into 3 parts. One part goes to the ponds because you have to preserve waters. One part goes for your paddy, your rice, because even if the disaster struck you, you have to have enough stock of rice for your daily need. Then some portion goes for your cash crops, and small part of your land has to be for your house. So can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? So every single plot of land in Thailand, by the advice of the kings, are divided by this 4 parts. So even if your cash crop fail in the market because the price is so low, you still have rice with you to feed your families. You have still pond with fish for your nutrition. And of course, if your cash crops sell very well, it's great for you. If your pond produce fish, it's good for you. But sometimes, in most cases, in our part of the world, our farmers simply grow cash crop products, cash crop plants. You know, and cash crops plants has many problems and many issues, many challenges. Even the political unrest can block the main roads, and when they block the main road, the farmer cannot sell their vegetables. You know, their product becomes waste, and the value of their product becomes so cheap, and the farmer cannot earn anything on that. That Thai's advice is very wise in many ways. But what happened is that in the case of Thailand, the governments go beyond advising the farmer how to distribute the land. Every single farmer has to join a big cooperative. And the cooperative becomes the most important instruments for the farmers to work to each other and to support each other. Once they produce one particular product in one areas, then the government goes down to the village, to the cooperative. The government means agricultural ministries, industrial ministries, trade ministries, to begin classifying your product. If your product is mangoes, then the government said this quality of mangoes goes to 1-star quality, goes to 2-star quality, 3rd-star quality, 4-star quality, and the 3rd and 4-star quality is for export quality products, and the government certified it. So when the government certifies the product, the farmer can negotiate with the wholesale traders to decide about the price. So because the differentiation is not there in the mindset of most of the farmers, because farmers generally sell everything in one big chunks of the products. But once the farmer is informed that this product is so damn good, don't sell cheap, because the quality is good for the export, then the government does that. That's their strength, and that's why the Thais is so confident to say that we are the kitchen of the world. Now, if you sell with one more country, for example, our neighbor Malaysia, what the Malaysian does? Now, Malaysian, of course, is a country that adopt the federal structures, where every state has its own role to play. But the difference is that even though Malaysia is a federal country, if it has something to do with improving the life of the farmers, livelihood of the farmers, they don't bother about the structure, state structure. They just go down. So the government goes down to the region. They have been building what they call Rural Transformation Center, RTC. Basically, RTC answer one particular question, particular issues. How to bring market to the farmers. Because access to the market is one of the fundamental questions that the farmer has to deal with. What they do? Malaysian governments established, built mall kind of building on the highway. They built a kind of mall in the highway, along the highways, and mall with plus structures. Bank is there, soil research center is there, food horticulture expert is there, ICT is there, everything that the farmers need to get supported is there in that kind of mall, in RTC center. And there is one big RTC center in one area, and this big one create a small RTC center close to the farmers. This is the structure that they have. So this small RTC center deal directly with the farmer and ask the farmers, if you want to sell your mangoes, if you want to sell your jambura, if you want to sell your guava to us, you have to meet this standard. Okay? They talk to the farmer like that. The farmer typical answer is that we have no expertise, we have no knowledge, we have no money. Then they said, money is there, bank is there, in that RTC center, soil expert is there for you, horticulture expert is there for you. They will come to you to support you. So these kind of structures that the government must have built help the farmers to have the access to the market and meet the standard that the market demanded. Meanwhile, at the national level, they have these federal agriculture marketing authorities, farmers, whose main job is to go around the world to see what is the global market demand for agricultural products. They go to China, they said the Chinese is very much fond of eating one particular jackfruit. This jackfruit in China is in high demand. Or like you know very well, Malaysia and Thais are very good in producing durian. I know some of you may not be aware of what's durian. The very smelly kind of fruit that you cannot bring it to the airport or bring it to the hotel. It's so smelly, it's so strong, you can't bring it inside the hotel or go take it to the airplane. They said the Chinese has demand this kind of durian, and this farmer going back home, talk to the RTC center, you tell your farmers that they need this money and grow this one. So agriculture or rural development or livelihood is not a matter of local community alone. They cannot sustain themselves, they cannot grow themselves unless there is a very close link up to the market in the global, platform. So this is the thing that we have to learn. But the key point I want to emphasize to you is that you are the one. You are the one who make difference that will define whether the farmer can have a decent livelihood or the farmer can continue to suffer, live as people below the poverty lines. And it's up to you who have the privilege to participate in this kind of program, to have the chance to travel abroad, to maximize the kind of open space knowledge that's available everywhere, to transform your farmers and your areas. We always said that 60% of our people live in rural areas, and 60% their livelihood depend on the agriculture products. Farmers, politically speaking, is always majority with silent voices. Very few farmers can articulate their demands. Of course, now everything is changed. The rubber plantations, rubber farmers in Thailand, they go to Bangkok to fight for their cause. This kind of thing. We, of course, cannot copy what the Vietnamese has done. Because Vietnam is a country where state has very strong control of everything. But the state defined that you cannot build your own house. You cannot build your individual house. The farmers in Vietnam has to live in a 3-4-story house, in a commune kind of houses, so that the land can be much more available for the growing agricultural products. Vietnamese can do that because we are communist country, right? they can't do that. But what is the effect of that? The effect is that if you go to Vietnam, you only see thousands of these dragon fruits. If you go from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh, you will see miles and miles of dragon fruit. And now they are becoming a very serious threat of Thai's dominance in agricultural products. You know, and the farmers in Vietnam, I must say, live much more prosperous. The level of poverty they have been able to reduce is so dramatic. Compared to my own country, we are very much left behind. You know, but of course, Vietnam is a different country altogether. You know, so all these experiences, all these models, it's up to you to learn and up to you to share with your governments, policymakers. But again, you are the one who define the change or not change. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Friends, I would like to share my experience with Thailand. And Lee has given an opportunity to visit to Bangkok in 2013, which is a similar type of program. And we went to field visit to see an agriculture research station agriculture farm. What he was rightly mentioning, the King's philosophy of agriculture was excellent. I think after coming to India, I told in many forums, the philosophy is excellent, really very good. The four parts, conserving the water and the paddy and then commercial and then market. This is a really excellent place, which I observed and I told myself. And particularly Thailand being a lac producing country in the world, and many of the fruits and vegetables are coated with lac coating. And so shiny and so quality, and without keeping in the cold storages, we can preserve the products for 15 to 20 days without any cold storage. That's the Thailand, as the teacher was actually mentioning. Many of the international airports, the products is from Thailand. That's why the quality is very really good. I don't know how maintaining the farmers. And farmers are highly qualified and they are so technically when you are interacting with the farmers, and certain things we came to learn, many things we came to know after talking to the farmers, actually in Bangkok, nearly about 40-50 kilometers away. The research station was so good, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that very, very inspiring, I think, speech, and also giving a lot of insights about a lot of learnings that are there in our member countries, and the need for all our participants to learn and to practice it back in their countries. Now, I think we may like to interact with the DG with any questions on his.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. It's been very enlightening and very kind of challenging for us to reflect on our own, what is our role here and our participation, and looking into the privilege that we had with our participation here. Of course, this is the 5th day, and then we have been also bombarded with so many information that we are also seriously reflecting, and from the learning that we have shared. If I were a farmer in India, then for me it would be no, I don't want to be a farmer. So but the